Good day, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit late today for the live session, but it's going to be a very quick one. So I've gotten some feedback from my coach, from my I would say my archery expert, on the techniques that can be used in conjunction with a tactical approach to traditional archery. And the one main thing that sticks out is actually the ability to blind knock, or essentially putting the arrow on the string without looking at the string. So with that, to make my training much easier, I've actually put some hockey tape here just to thicken it up a bit and serve as a non-permanent knocking point, I would say. So time now is 6:36. It's a little bit late, so I've got my camera light here, so if it's a little bit glaring, sorry. This place is kind of dark. So with that, perhaps I'll do the setup for a left-handed archer as such. Now the idea is you should be able to knock without looking at the string. That is the basic premise of blind knocking. Because if you're looking down at the string, trying to see where is it, where does it fall, it takes a lot of precious time, as well as your focus is no longer towards the target. You're fumbling down here with your equipments. The next thing would be, quite simply, when knocking the arrow, it is not advisable to be bringing the bow down and knocking it like that as I used to do. The best way to do it is actually to bring the bow up as opposed to bringing your gaze down. So bring the bow up and you can knock it like that while your focus is still towards the target. So I'm just going to quickly switch my hands right now, because that was for a left-handed setup. So we're just going to do it for a standard right-handed setup where the bow should be on this hand right here. So I'm going to be removing all the gloves because I won't be using it. And because of the hockey tape earlier, it won't be too painful on your fingers. So let me just take this off for a while. So go to very basic, just the bow and the arrow. Okay, here we go. So as such, so the bow is up, so eyes on the target, take the arrow, feel it on the string, pull it and pull. So let's try that again. Take it from the back, eyes still on target, on string, draw and pull, as such. So the micro movements is all in this hand. So if you notice, I'm using just normal knocks, not special knocks. So like this, I'm holding it from the front. Imagine the target is in front of me, or perhaps I should move the camera this way so that you can see. So I'm going to take the arrow from the knock end. I'm just going to pluck it like that, if you notice, just with my thumb and forefinger. So again, pluck it and place. No fancy moves, very simple and straightforward. You can actually hear the arrow knocking, see? And do not look at the string or anywhere else other than the target. So let's try to execute this shot cycle, knocking, drawing and shooting. So as such, eyes on target. Now it is very important to start slow. Don't rush this at all, because you don't want to be making mistakes. For example, I'm shooting here underground and I purposely put a wall behind me. So if I'm rushing the sequence, I'm not doing it properly, I risk breaking my arrow if I accidentally let go of it. This technique does not have a fixed anchor point, it's actually floating. So if I show you from here, knocking it, drawing it and shooting it, there was no aiming, or so it seems. But for the arrow, it actually falls in nicely within the group. Now I am just focusing on this particular small target. It's actually a little bit smaller than a 40 centimeters target face. Okay, let's do this one more time with the micro movements and the macro movements. So how I would separate these two: the macro movements are the big movements and the micro are the small. So the big movements is in your sequence, your general sequence, which is the gripping of the bow, the picking up of the arrows and such. This is the macro movement or the big movement. For the small movements, it's actually highly reliant on your fingers. So let's go a little bit more behind, because this time was a bit too close to the target and it is getting quite dark. So from here, so the arrow that the bow I'm using is 60 pounds, quite heavy for fast shooting, but at about 12 meters with a very fast shooting, you're able to get adequate accuracy for the speed of shooting. So let's retrieve this. We'll do this one more time and I'll end the live session because it is getting kind of late. So all that, with the arrow back in the back quiver. Okay, so let's do one last end of shooting. And I will end the live session, so perhaps a lot more further. Okay. Bring the bow up instead of bringing the bow down to knock. One arrow left in the quiver. So let's take a look at the target to see the kind of accuracy that we're able to achieve. Still practicing, but at that distance, with blind knocking and a very quick shooting sequence, this is adequate accuracy. Of course, the best if I can fit everything inside here, but we'll continue to practice till we get there. So that's all from me today. Just a quick recap. The micro movement, which is holding the knock this side. If the bow is here, you're going to move that, pivot it in front and straight on the string. So I'll demonstrate this with the bow. before we end the live session. So from here, from the back, onto the string. So from here, from the back quiver, onto the string, and you're ready to draw. So one more time. Now you can practice this at home without any shooting, just the movement of taking it from the quiver, placing it there. Now if you do this often enough, this becomes muscle memory, and you're able to execute this very fluidly and very efficiently to really help you in your shooting sequence. So that's all from me. My name is Anwar Saad from Eureka Archery. Like, subscribe and share. We're on Facebook, Instagram and on YouTube. So be an archer today.